Hello, everybody, everyone out there in the good old interwebs. My name is Evan.
And I'm Phil, de Vitesse for the Intimates. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Yeah, welcome to Whispers from the Void. Today we have a very cool fucking guest for you. If you needed someone who is basically the how would I say it? The Swiss Army knife of all that is about metal, we got him. He's done everything from merch. I believe he was a tour manager a couple times. I mean, I don't know if he's done promotions, but I'm pretty sure he should have at this point. He's been in some bands. We have with us today the one and only Andrew Gerrity. How you doing today,
What's
buddy?
Up, y'all? I'm all right. Fucking bored living through quarantine, normal shit. But
yeah,
fucking
I mean,
Florida.
Yeah, we're all living through that stuff. It's getting old, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. So, we can only hope.
True.
We can only hope.
Very true.
So, well, it took us, we don't like to have a lot of guests on the podcast, but we like to pick and choose who we have, considering that, obviously a lot of podcasts nowadays are just everybody having fucking, everyone in the world that's, associated with any new releases coming out and stuff. But we like to have very special people. And Gerrity, you fit that bill because you've done some cool shit. You've done some cool shit that, I mean, like, think if you people are out there listening and you've seen any type of tour that involves maybe aborted Swallow the Sun bands, or maybe even some other bands, Gerrity probably had his hands in there. He was probably there selling you merch at some point. He was, doing something. He had something to do with it. So it's pretty cool to get somebody who is so involved, not just being in the bands, and be friends with these guys, but doing all the stuff that makes the tours happen and keeps everybody happy and going. So I appreciate you coming on and taking some time with us, man.
Oh, no problem, man. Shit's fun. I'm hyped to fucking hang out with y'all this time instead of hanging out with y'all in the fucking Vox and Hops chat. It's different now. It's on y'all.
Oh yeah,
that's right. That's originally how we met. I probably have talked to Gerrity now through quarantine. I don't know, a handful, 3 or 4 times, 5 times. And he's an awesome guy. You guys are gonna love him.
the first time like I met Gerrity, it was at a Vox and Ops, and like I think I was the after party man at that time, like before Evan had the after party king name, and that time Michelle was here. And Michelle and you are best friend, and you were talking. I was like, can I put something? Word, please.
Yeah, there's a few people. If you put me in a room with them, we'll start fucking going off. Just, all night. And I mean, it's literally no different when I'm on tour and I get up to Montreal. Like, if she's not working, she'll come hang out. And like, once I park the bus or fucking, if I don't, depending on what job I'm doing, we'll just go to like, either we'll go to, her bar, or we'll go, depending on where I'm at, down to fucking, Fufun or something and grab a beer, and we'll just sit there and bullshit. The next thing you know, it's been like 2.5 hours and you're like, oh, that shit I gotta do.
I know. Nah, we all got those people. But real quick, we have some games lined up for you today. Because, we like fun. You like fun. So we like playing some fucking games. We'd like to keep it a little different. It's very easy to do question, answer. But, you got to kind of fucking mix it up once in a while. But real quick, me and Philippe, we got some beers. I don't know if you got a beer with you, Gerrity.
No, I was just finished a Dr. Pepper.
That works.
But
that works.
I got water too.
That's like the craft beer of sodas. But I grabbed you know, I had Gerrity, so I had to grab the coolest beer I had, and that was Worship Doom, which is just an imperial stout. But it's a metal brewery out here that is really fucking sweet, and all it is just typical stuff. It's black as your soul. You gotta love it.
That sounds. Wait a second. I do have a beer.
Oh, you have a beer.
Hold on.
I will pass
Special
last.
beer.
A special beer.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been hoarding these like a motherfucker, and I think of good reasons to break them out.
Puppers! Yes!
Shit,
Dude,
okay,
they discontinued those. Isn't that fucking sad?
Oh God.
What the fuck?
That thing's fizzy.
I don't know what this popper is, man, but fuck, it pops. What the fuck?
Oh God, look at it.
Oh,
Holy
geez.
shit!
That's a shaken boy.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it was. Oh my God.
But it worked. Puppers.
Wrong hole.
Oh, fuck.
I dropped
Holy
it. That's the problem. That's what I was
Yeah,
holding.
that'll do it.
It's like all foam. It's like all foam.
Holy shit.
God damn.
But, yeah,
So-
Puppers made famous by Letterkenny, I'm assuming. But
Huh.
Oh God.
Canadian
Yeah.
beer.
Man, I don't know if you can see that, but that big
Yeah.
bulge.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, so I dropped it, and I just thought maybe opening it now would be a good idea, but it's literally just continuously turning to foam. This is gonna be the
God.
flattest beer of all time.
Oof.
Fuck yeah. So my beer, because we are in metal, I have the Voivod
nice.
Lost Machine from Hopfenstark, and it's a Stein beer. So it's like what they said about Stein beer, historic German lager beer made with stone, heated with wood fired, and lowered into the beer during the brewing process, giving the beer its unique caramel and mineral notes. So
Interesting.
yeah, that's interesting. And
A
I
lot
guess
going on.
so. Oh, love the color. It's
Did you
different
did
than
you
what
get that
I
from
used.
France?
Yeah, I
France?
got that from France. Our friend France, because I'm not living in Montreal, so there's some beer that I don't have. And France was like, hey, I got the Cryptopsy, I got the Vox and Over Hops, and I got the Voivod. Do you want them? I was like, fuck yeah, I want them. Like, last episode, I drank the Vox and Over Hops. It was magic. One of the best beer I ever tasted, and I'm not joking. And honestly, the Voivod, like, I was waiting for that episode to drink it. Because why the fuck not?
I mean, you know.
And
now-
if it's going like super long, I have the Sir Popov, which is a 10% Russian Imperial Stout with coffee
Nice.
and all that. So
Oh.
if it's going longer than I'm expecting, Sir Popov for me. Because Russia.
You know, without you saying you have a friend named France, the beginning of that conversation was very confusing. You're like, did you get that from France? And I was like, wow, it's a long way to go for a beer.
That's what I thought. But yeah, I could like get something from France because maybe I have some friends in France that just can ship me something, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't
yeah,
know
that could-
anybody
Oh man,
in France at all. The
bro,
actual place.
I am so fucking ready for this fucking next Euro run because every time we're in a city with like a sick brewery, I'll fucking set up my shit real fast, and then I'm like, like, Matt and I, when we were in Copenhagen, went to whatever the fuck it is. I can't remember now. The fucking whatever. There's some fancy ass brewery. Oh, McKellar Bar.
Yeah.
We went to McKellar Bar.
Oh yeah.
So Matt and I were in one of the like actual McKellar Bar spots, getting fucking ripped, and then we both forgot that doors were in like 20 minutes, and we went, oh shit, and we're like across the city.
Was that
and
Matt from Cryptopsy?
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Yeah, it was when we were doing the Euro aborted Cryptopsy benighted cytotoxin run.
Oh shit.
And it was
sick fucking
I got back just in time for doors, and it was intense. Because I get back and I'm like, kind of got a buzz still. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta focus. All right. And I sobered up in about 5 minutes flat, because there was already a line of people. Like, when I was coming in, doors had just opened and people were already lining up, and I ran back behind the table and was like, all right, let's fucking go. I'm just fucking ripping shirts for like the next 30 minutes straight. You're just instantly sober, and you're like, all right.
That moment when you have to be sober now.
Yeah.
Like,
I got real fucking good at that one.
I'm sure.
We're just like,
You're excited
man.
for the European touring circuit. Are you a part of any tours that are actually announced and are going through?
Yeah.
But you can't talk about it?
No, I think I can. I actually, give me 2 seconds and I definitely can tell you whether I can talk about them. Okay, I definitely can talk about it.
Perfect.
Oh, I had to check. Everything's been fucking postponed so many times and moved around. I can't fucking keep track of this shit. So, wait, you're up. Where are you at? You're in Mass, right?
I'm in Mass, yeah.
And I'm in Quebec.
So then, you'll appreciate, that right there.
Oh yes, the Acacia Strain. Let's go.
And Aborted.
I love that new album. New album's cool.
Yo, you know what fucked me up? That fucking EP they did. I know the names of the songs.
Was giving them names.
Was giving them. Yeah, that's the words of the songs. Yeah. So that shit.
Yes.
Fucking dude, that record was so unlike anything else they had done, and it's amazing.
I love it more.
I fucking love that record.
I love it more than anything they had put out to that moment. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, I got to tour with them on was a Warped Tour a couple years ago, and it was fucking great watching them play every night, and then getting to know them as dudes, and like they're all fucking really awesome dudes.
Yes.
So I'm hyped to go fucking hang out with them in Europe for a fucking month.
That's fantastic.
And the last show is on fucking Halloween.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So who's a part of that? I saw Acacia Strain, Aborted, and who else is on?
Okay, so you're gonna like Der Vites is gonna like this. So it's like in groups, like the support bands go in chunks for parts of the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Benighted is on part of it.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then we've got Hideous Divinity picking up when they, come off.
Mamma mia.
And then
there's a band that's a band that needs more publicity. They definitely need to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They are so fucking good, and I don't think they get enough credit for how fucking good they are.
Oh, they are
absolutely.
They're sublime. I love that band so much. Like, did you saw the video that the singer made when he had like a camera up his nose, like in his throat? And he was just screaming, and you just see the vocal cords just moving when he's screaming. I'm like, damn, that's
it's really
perfect.
Cool. It's really cool shit.
Yeah, like when I saw it use Divinity the last time, it was with Aborted, and it was way before that I met Gerrity and all, and like I saw it use Divinity. I was blown away. Oh, and it was the same night with Cryptopsy also. So yeah, like aborted Cryptopsy Idios, it was one of the best. One of the best night. It was in Quebec. Like I loved that show so much.
I was
It was
there.
the first time. It was. You.
Gerrity was there.
Of course you were there.
Yeah,
of course.
I was there. I was on that fucking tour. I think
we didn't met.
Actually, I know where I was.
Huh?
No, I was in the bus fucking asleep because I drove, and actually earlier that night, Michelle and I were out getting food. Like, she got done doing what she was doing, and she and I fucked off to go get food, and then went back to the venue, and I fucking passed out.
Shit.
So, yep.
Yeah,
I was a fucking sleek.
Yeah, but that was me. It was in Quebec that you're talking about. Michel was in Quebec too.
Oh no, I was thinking of the Montreal show.
Yeah. Me, I was in Quebec, so the Quebec City.
Oh shit.
Canada,
Okay. I thought you were talking.
same
Sorry,
fucking thing.
you said no. He
It's
said
not
Quebec,
the
and I was thinking
same.
the province, not the fucking city. I was thinking
It's-
the province.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Evan is not the same. It's 2 hour
it's tough.
difference.
I know.
You don't know.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm so used to people down here. Whenever you hear anybody talk about Quebec City, like the city Quebec, you hear that they'll call it Quebec City and not just Quebec. So I'm like, when I hear Quebec, I think the province. And when I
Yeah,
hear
but that's
that,
the
Quebec
that's-
City.
That's the problem, because in French you say Ville de Québec, so Quebec City, but we just say Quebec. Like, you don't say Worcester City, you don't say Boston City, you don't say.
Did you just say Worcester?
I don't know how to pronounce it. Look, I'm Canadian.
But you know what?
Hey?
You know what we do say? You know what we do say when we have a state and a city with the same name? New York and New York City.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Make it easy. We make it fucking easy. We're lazy.
Yeah, you were lazy
Yeah.
so much. We are so lazy that we just say Quebec and Quebec. That's all we say.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, man,
because
we're so
it's-
lazy.
Yeah, yeah, we are all lazy, just all lazy. Laziness is the key.
I think my favorite fucking lazy fucking geographic maneuver is going from, New York being New Amsterdam, and then fucking the English get it and they're like, just change the last part. We'll call it New York instead. And it's like, keep the new bit. Fuck it.
Yeah,
It's like-
seriously.
Oh, and yeah, Evan,
That's the best you.
I said Worcester, but because in Quebec we got a problem with one pronunciation. You know the Worcestershire? Like, everyone just saying it wrong. But
Worcestershire?
so wrong. Yeah. How do you say it?
Worcestershire.
Worcester? What?
Or- yeah.
Repeat it.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Is it
sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That shit's great.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
but-
awesome.
it's
I put that
awesome.
shit on chicken
but,
all the time.
but us we are saying
too.
like
Me
we are
fucking
saying,
too.
us we are saying like Worcestershire? Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
There you go. You just did it.
Worcestershire. What?
Worcestershire. Yeah.
And it's not
Worcestershire.
written like it's pronounced. What the
No,
fuck?
not at all.
The hell do you want from me? I didn't make the
Worcestershire.
names. I just pronounce them.
Fuck the language. I hate it sometimes.
Hey,
Sometimes.
That's what you get when you fucking steal everyone else's language and then you smash it together and then you get
Hell
garbage.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's my life.
that's how it be sometimes.
Yeah, because the problem, we are
I
French.
don't think it be like that, but it do.
It
Yeah,
do
but
be. It do
The
be.
thing is we talk French, but we use English. And so the English is just so mixed up in our language. So sometimes the real name in English won't pronounce the same or won't have the same definition. So it's complicated as fuck.
That's beautiful. That's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
We are beautiful.
Well, that brings us to our next question. You guys are following.
Hit me.
So Garrity, now that tours are going to be kind of opening back up again, we have a vaccine on the way. People are starting to get vaccinated. What do you think? You know, you're pretty good at, I would assume, figuring out turnouts and figuring out how many people are going to show up to shows and things like that. Do you think the demand for shows is almost going to like outweigh the amount of shows that's actually booked and in the process of going to be toured? Like, can you imagine that more people now than ever, when shows start coming back, are going to go? And so can you see an instance where maybe bands have an opportunity to tour twice as much as they did before the pandemic?
Okay. So here's the thing. I'll answer this in parts because it's a complex.
It is complex.
Okay, so will there be a demand for shows that outweighs the amount of shows? Yes. Hard yes. But here's the thing. Everyone and their mother is going to want to go out as soon as they can because everyone's been sitting on their hands losing money, shit like that. So a ton of bands are going to want to go out. But there's a limited amount of venues so far that have either the ability to reopen due to local laws and statutes or due to the fact that larger venues you're dealing with, you start dealing with not just the venues, but it's either, you know, Live Nation owned or something like that. And they have to give the approval to start, you know, doing a lot of that shit again. And that being said, though, there was like, okay, so half the country didn't give a shit about quarantine in the first place. So they would have gone regardless. And many of them did go to shows during fucking when they were supposed to be quarantined. So those fucking idiots, they would want to go to a show anyways, regardless of whether, you know, you could be fucking bleeding out of your asshole and your eyes at the same time. They would deny that it was a threat. So those people, they're already fucking grandfathered into wanting to go to shows. But then the other split are people that, you know, quarantined and shit, and they've been stuck inside their fucking houses and they haven't done anything for over a year, basically. And they're going to want to go out. And the second that you give them the opportunity, it's going to be like those videos of dogs that were kept in fucking, you know, makeup fucking testing facilities and shit. And then you let them out and they see nature the first time and they fucking lose their minds. It's going to be like that. Who knows how they're going to handle, you know, letting people in. Like I said, it all depends on local, you know, statutes and laws and shit. But like literally every tour that I had that was supposed to be like 2021 or 2020 has been fucking rebooked for 2021 or 2022 because some bands are smart and they're like, you know, they realize that it's going to be a fucking an overpacked market because there's less venues now than there was before the fucking quarantine started. Many of them shut down. So you're already fucking playing to less venues than you have. I don't know about you, but I haven't heard of anybody opening new venues during the fucking pandemic. So you're already fucking fighting a losing, you know, a battle that you're fucking at a deficit with. Now, you'll have a shit ton of bands that want to play less venues, which is also going to split the market because if everyone does go out at the same time, like a bunch of bands want to do and have said that they want to try and do, it'll be like when you remember when we were fucking teenagers and there was that sweet spot in the fucking late 90s, early 2000s, shit like that, where you could go to a show almost every fucking day if you wanted to. Like there was always somebody in town. Theoretically, it'll be like, you know, potentially like that, where it's like, okay, I mean, yeah, there's a show fucking 5 days a week, but I don't have the fucking money for that shit. Like, and everyone wanting to go to shows is cool, you know, and these people that are, you know, excited to go out and see bands play, but a lot of these people aren't going to fucking have money. A lot of them have been fucking on reduced hours and shit and all sorts of things. Some people lost their jobs. So if bands go into it expecting they're going to be fucking, you know, playing these huge shows, raking it in like they used to, they're going to be fucking sorely mistaken. I mean, I can't speak to other countries, but like in regards to the US, like, I mean, however many fucking, thousands and thousands of people are on fucking unemployment. Like, those aren't going to be the people that are going to be wanting to pitch in, like, $40 for a fucking hoodie and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they'll definitely be fucking, more fucking shows than I think than people are willing to realize, because, a lot of bands are just going to go out the first chance they get, be it for financial reasons or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that this might be an opportunity, maybe like a small window? We'll call, because I don't expect this to be like a long-term thing, obviously, but maybe
Mhm.
like a short window. Uh Maybe for at least one touring cycle. Are you going to see bands that are playing at smaller venues that normally probably wouldn't? Like, say, I don't know, off the top of my head, I think of like a band, Shadow of Intent, or like yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough to
So,
kind of think about something like that, but like a band that's kind of bigger, that kind of reverts back to smaller venues that have availability so they can play shows, or wait for those bigger venues to have availability.
so to an extent, yes. So there's a certain level of band that, like, once you get to a certain size, unless you fucking are doing some special show, you're never gonna play a smaller venue again. Like, once you start getting beyond the being able to draw, like, 4 or 5, 10,000, and I get 5 and 10,000 seems like a huge jump, but it's really fucking not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Once you start getting past that, you're at a certain size venue where you're playing like amphitheaters and shit. You're not going to go back to playing fucking, theaters, so to speak. You're just not. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but at, say, that we'll call it sub 2000 range, where they're like, some nights they pull fucking 2K, some nights they pull 1500, shit like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them going, instead of playing like larger theaters and shit, going back to playing like, some of them like clubs, or, larger clubs that are like 1,000 kids, or, some of those bands that used to draw 1,200 and they would play like a medium sized club or a small theater, you know, uh, depending on what you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them going back to playing, like fucking, 800 cap rooms, or shit like that. Just because, it's a risk. And the thing is when let's say you book it. So that, let's say they book the tour, right? And they have them playing these smaller venues just to err on the side of caution. Well, you can always, if the room is available on the same day, you can always fucking bump them up. I mean, I've been on tours where that shit happens, where they have you in a fucking 800 cap room and tickets fucking sell out in, a week and a half, 2 weeks. And then they go, oh shit. And then they have to bump it up. And then next thing you know, you're playing in a 12 or a 1500 cap. And, maybe that fills up, maybe it doesn't. But like, as long as you sold enough tickets that you're covering the cost of whatever that larger room is, and it's still, beneficial to everyone involved, they'll bump you up. And like, I mean, if they do that, usually it's, the promoters that are doing that aren't dumb, so they know if they're doing that, they're doing it because there's enough of a want, that excess of tickets that, is beyond the cap of the original room is enough to cover that cost. And it's usually when that happens, it's fairly beneficial to all parties involved. So that's always an option. So you might see these bigger bands book these smaller rooms because they're not sure how it's going to turn out. But with, the concept of pre-sales, you'll find out real fucking fast. And I mean, it might be, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's possible that there could be a huge walk-up market, and that they could play this 800 cap room, this theoretical band, and then, there isn't pre-sales, and then people just show up fucking at the door in droves and want to buy fucking tickets. And then they're like turning people away. But I don't see that happening, because usually the bands that have huge walk-ups, the promoters know and the bands know and shit. So, and I doubt I mean, I don't want to say I doubt that's going to change due to the circumstances, but I don't expect there to be that much of a difference in walk-up. If anything, I would expect people to get tickets ahead of time because of the fact that everyone and their mother is going to want to fucking go out. Err on the side of caution. But I may be giving people too much credit. Who the fuck, knows?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Phil, do you got anything to add?
Shit, I got nothing. Like, I know, I mean, in my opinion, show will not come back soon because the problem, like, every day I just hear new rules, new shit, and blah blah blah. Like in my province, it's like that. Like every day, every week, there's new shit coming, like going on, and I'm like, show will never coming back. Like maybe not this year. Like it's going to be that. I'm sure of it. Like if there is some show, it would be a miracle, and it would be at the end of the year. That's what I think.
I think. Here's the thing. I think shows will come back, but I also think that they're going to come back in Europe before they'll come back here. And I say that because there already are shows coming back in Europe.
Yeah, of course. Like I think in Sweden there's already shows, like local show.
Yeah, Norway
like,
too.
I think there's already shows in Sweden. So I'm like, it would go in Europe like sooner than we think. Like it would go first, and in Quebec and North America it would go next, like maybe at the end or next year. That's what I think.
My my fucking 1349 dudes just announced a fucking show in Norway coming up. I don't remember when the exact date is, but like they just posted about it. I know a couple other fucking countries have already, had shows, and a lot of them are still locked down, but that shit is kind of a testament to what happens when your government takes it fucking seriously and they're like, we should do something about this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, what do you mean to tell me that you took it seriously and you didn't fuck your people in the process? You didn't say, yeah, we know this is bad, but you'll fucking figure it out. Bye. And all of a sudden, they're recovering faster. What Twilight Zone bullshit is this?
You want to know the bullshit? Like in my province, I think, and it's only my opinion, I think our prime minister, like, he just doesn't care about culture. He doesn't care. Like I'm sure he thinks culture is just like, oh, there's like a classical show or theaters or something, but no, like music show, fuck off. Like people that don't have home, fuck off. They are not rich, fuck off. Like I'm like, dude, you are an horrible person. You know that?
So if you want to talk about horrible moves of people in power, so check this out. While the fucking quarantine was going on, Congress gave themselves a raise here. So they were arguing about whether or not they could give us money, like us. Yeah. And instead, they gave themselves a raise. Now, the funny thing about that is, where does the money come from that they gave themselves a raise with? It's taxpayer money. So it's money we gave them. Yeah. So they have to argue about whether we're allowed to have it back when we need it. But there's no argument when they're like, should we get more of it? And it's like, bro, you guys have been actually in the fucking building less this year than any year. And you basically sat and argued with each other and done dick all to benefit people during a fucking pandemic. But you think you deserve more money. Meanwhile, people here like, losing their jobs, losing their houses, all that sort of shit. And they're like, we don't know. And it's like, bro, I paid taxes my entire adult life. And then they went, hey, here's $600. We're square, right? And it's like, not even fucking remotely.
I hope that we eventually get that $2,000 stimmy, but
what's gonna happen?
That's gonna be fucking.
You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like they're gonna give you like a fucking Taco Bell gift card, some Kohl's bucks, and a pat on the ass, and be like, "Good luck, figure it out."
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, it sounds crazy, but you know what I think is gonna happen? They're just gonna keep arguing with each other about it until enough of the fucking
populace is vaccinated.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be like, well, you don't need it now, it's fine. And it's gonna be like, that doesn't It doesn't fix the bills that a bunch of us haven't paid. Like, I mean, I'm getting fucking hit up by my credit card company like today. They're like, "Hey, so that money you owe us," and I was like, "Uh-huh, no, it's there." And they went, "So about that," and I went, "Nah." And they're like, "What do you mean no?" And I'm like, well, I lost my job. I have worked, I counted up the other day. I've worked a total of like 14 days the entirety of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
14 days across the entire year.
Yeah.
No. So here's things that take precedent. My house, food, my car insurance so I can go to work and make more money so I don't starve. Things like that. And they're like, "Yeah, well, you owe us this money." And I went, "Uh-huh. Yeah, here's what you," and then the last time they called me about it, I was so fucking tired of it. I was like, "How's this?" I was like, "I'll just kill myself, and then you and the government can fight over my corpse and see who gets what, you fucking bloodsuckers." And then I hung up.
Yeah.
And it's weird that when they called me today, they didn't reference that in the message they left me. I don't know. So
Shit.
Yeah, it's definitely tough right now. Things are luckily things are getting better, but the damage is done. The damage is done. I think I predict we're gonna get at least one more stimulus check, but in reality, I remember somebody had done the math, and I saw this somewhere that basically the government owes us like $18,000 per person in the US because there's different countries that had stimulus checks throughout the pandemic,
yeah,
and we only got two. One of them was obviously 1,200, and the other one was
half that.
yeah, the other one was half that. It was $600.
Yo,
$600 doesn't even pay for my rent, doesn't even pay for basically anything, really. I
dude,
mean, what does it do?
talk to dude, when we come back and we're like, I'm out with aborted and shit, you can talk to Stefano about how Italy held it down. Like, they got hit super hard out of the gate, but like, bro, they were not fucking around. There was a point where if you were walking around without paperwork and you weren't like actually working, they would just arrest you. Like,
Damn.
they would just
Well,
arrest
I
you.
I mean, thing
And
is, it's like I'd rather that happen and like get back to fucking shit quickly than like, obviously we've dragged our asses with this whole fucking thing.
well, what here's the extrapolation from that that makes me very happy. So imagine you get arrested and then you're sitting in jail, right? And this is blowing up and it's blowing up. And you're like, "Oh shit, all these people are getting sick." But here's the thing: the courts aren't in full swing because motherfuckers don't want to get COVID. So there's like maybe one or two courtrooms that are actually going. So it's just dragging before you get your court date. Maybe you start freaking out and you're like, "Hey man, all these people are getting COVID, and I would just love to be the guy that's like, you didn't care before when you were walking around, and we told you, why do you care now?"
Exactly.
And then they're like, "But then it's like, no, man, if you get it, it's a hoax, remember?" Like, I mean, I was of the opinion, and I've said this the whole time, it's like everyone that, was like, "I don't believe in it," or "I don't care," or whatever, which is effectively like, "I don't give a shit if people die." I think all of those people should have been able to legally sign a little document. And then if they ever got it, be like, "I think I have COVID." It's like, "Cool, man, you're probably going to die in your house." And when they're like, "What?"
Mhm.
It's like, "Yeah, it wasn't real, remember?" So
Yeah,
obviously
cool.
treatment's not real. So
Uh
I don't know what to tell you. And they would have been great. We could have culled like a large dumb part of the populace like overnight. But
yeah, I mean, people don't think about the jobs that would have opened up if all those people just died.
yeah, all those fucking dipshits yelling about fucking immigrants stealing their jobs, like, there would have been so many more jobs open that they could have, stole from them. And it's like, yeah, okay, dickhead,
Mhm.
you're gonna go fucking pick fruit in a field. No, you're not. They didn't steal your job. You would never do that job, you fucking
Mhm.
entitled dickhead.
Mm.
Like, oh god, this country's so dumb. It's
I
so
hear you.
dumb.
Well,
Yeah,
let's rip it back to another topic real quick.
yeah.
Unless Phil, you got something to add.
No, I'm done.
Government is shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're listening to this, then you probably agree. This will be our last question before we get to some games. Gerrity, you have done a lot of different things on tour.
Yeah.
You have been the driver. You've done merch. Uh,
Tour
you name
manage.
it.
Fucking
Yeah.
all.
I mean, what is your favorite thing to do on tour? Like,
What is my favorite thing to do on tour?
What is your favorite? And that includes playing in the band. That includes actually
playing,
being in the
hands
band.
down, playing. Duh. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Despite what a lot of bands want you to think, like, okay, so all the hard work is done before the tour, like the tangible hard work, playing your instruments, getting good at them, writing songs, all that shit. That's all stuff you do before the tour. Once the tour starts, you work really hard, like functionally as the band. If unless the band is doing all of it themselves, like tour managing and doing merch, that's different. But if you have like crew members, as a band, you functionally work hard, depending on your set list, between 20 minutes to an hour-ish every night, and the rest of the day is yours. So you can like drink, you can sleep, you can jerk off, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And then you have that window where you have to be really good and on point and do your job really well. And outside of that, you don't have to do a fucking thing for the most part, unless, like I said, you're doing it yourself. Now, obvious answer. Outside of that, I don't know, man. It's each part has its ups and downs. I like fucking driving because it's great, because I can just sit by myself and listen to audiobooks and not have to talk to anyone or do anything except stare at the road for fucking 8 hours a night. And then when I get done, I can pull my grill out and barbecue and sit in my lawn chair and listen to music.
Ooh, that is a good time.
Dude, a number of bands I've toured with have literally woken up to like they step out of the door of the bus and I'm sitting there in a lawn chair with like sunglasses and a fucking button up with no shirt underneath and just barbecue and drinking beers, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm like, "Good morning."
It's 11.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I fairly regularly bring a grill and like a sick lodge cast iron, skillet, and I'll just fire the grill up, and I'll like, I made there was one day we were in Texas, and I took pork loin and I filled it with jalapenos and cream cheese, and I rolled it up and wrapped it in bacon, and then wrapped that in foil, and I put that on the fucking on the grill, and then aside from that, sprouts, fucking onions, garlic, sauteed those up in the cast iron, and then I got done and I was like, "Yo, fucking dinner's ready, I guess." And like everyone was just like, "What the fuck is that? What?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It seemed like a cool idea."
That's awesome.
Merch is cool because you get to interact with people, which is its own fucking up and down, because some of the people you have to interact with are absolute fucking dog shit morons. But then there's obviously fans that have their head on straight, and those people are cool. I've met a lot of friends of mine that literally were just people I talked to on tour, where it was like, "Oh, you're not a fucking weirdo. All right, we can keep talking."
Yeah.
But I mean, tour managing's dope because I enjoy the business side of it. Like I'm a numbers and data kind of guy. Like that shit makes sense to me more than a lot of things. So like sitting in the back of a bus or in the back of a green room or an office, if they have one somewhere, just fucking crunching numbers and figuring out like the monetary gains and losses, and shooting emails off to promoters, advancing shows, making sure everything is set up the way it should, is kind of like its own fucked up little game, and it's real exciting. You're trying to get all the little ducks in a row, and every so often something real fucking goes sideways, and you gotta fix it in the last minute. You get that sick adrenaline rush where you're like, "Oh shit, this entire day just fell apart. How do we fix this?" And so that shit's really is a lot of fun. So like all that shit's cool, but at the end of the day, the greatest day of any tour is the one where they hand you a big stack of cash and they're like, "Hell yeah, this was dope, let's do it again." And you're like, "Woo!"
That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, nothing could obviously beat that. That is sweet.
Yeah, like then there's weird offside things where like the boarded dudes and I one time we had a day off and we're like, "Do we want to drive? What do we want to do?" And then we found this like sick casino in the middle of the desert, and so we just said fuck it, and we took like an off day and we got a cheap room at the like a day room at the casino, and then we had the bus parked in the lot, and because we had the day room, we all went in and we got in the pool and we got like so there's this drink we were drinking on when I like formally met a bunch of them. We were on 70K, and I was pounding this. It's like a fucking daiquiri drink called a Miami Vice, and it's half pina colada, half strawberry daiquiri.
Ooh.
It's like mixed together. Yeah, it's real good. But then what you do is you do a Myers Dark rum floater on top, so it's just like Myers Dark rum sitting on top of the fucking drink. And as you drink it, the suction pulls the rum down, so the more you drink, the boozier it gets. And yeah, so it's a sleeper. So as you're drinking it, you're like, this is really good, but you don't realize it's getting boozier and boozier and boozier until the end, and then you shit it. So we all got, well, all the members that drank, we all got Miami Vice, and then we were in the pool drinking Miami Vice. And there's like there's a picture on Facebook that a bunch of us posted where it's all of them, like, you know, me, Sven, Ian, fucking Svano, Ken, you know, everybody in the fucking, you know, Ian in the pool with these fucking Miami Vice, just like, yeah, off day. And like dumb shit like that is always great, where you just like, you want to go do something real stupid today, and it's just like a sense of normalcy outside of like the weird bubble that exists of tour, because tour is its own sense of normalcy, but then you like kind of forget that the rest of the world exists because you operate in this very structured, like, we're going to drive, we're going to go to the venue, we're going to play shows, and like every so often you get an off day, and sometimes you can do something cool, but a lot of times you can't, and you're just, there's not time, so you're forced to just venue. And, you know, maybe there's a off day, but it's a drive day because you got to drive fucking, you know, 14 hours or some stupid shit. And you'll see a lot of pilots and, you know, Flying J's and Walmarts and shit. But beyond that, so when you get to do real stupid shit where it's like, do we need to spend this money to go to this fucking, you know, resort hotel and get tiki drinks? No, but we haven't had a day off in 2.5 weeks. So fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, those days are just chef's kiss.
Yes.
Fucking excellent.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the shit that you love to hear. I personally love to hear about. Just to know that like bands actually enjoy doing what they do, and, you know, just going on, and everybody gets to have fun, and that's really what it's all about, you know, because as a fan, you obviously show up, you know, you buy your merch, everyone buy your fucking merch, support your bands, but you know, you show up, you fucking do your thing. And you get to see some fucking really sick bands, some really awesome dudes and ladies doing some fucking really cool shit. And everybody has a fucking great time, you know? And obviously sometimes you hear about some guys who get burnt out from touring, and, you know, to each their own, you know, they're just so they don't. So it's nice to know that everybody has a fucking great time. But with all that said, we're going to get to some fucking games, dude. We're going to play some shit. I would say me and Philippe, but really, I don't really do a whole fucking lot besides talk. Philippe has kind of set this up.
I'm the dude. I'm the magician of games and technician and technicalities and all.
He's the fucking games master.
If there were percentages, I would do 20%. Phil would do 80%.
Oh, come on. Come on. I'm doing 70. You're doing 30.
Oh, give me 10%. I appreciate it.
I'm really glad that you nailed that, because I was, part of me in the back of my brain was like, please say 80, please say 80. Because we're like, I do 20, he does 70. That would have been the real payoff. Just been like, the other 10%, who knows?
It's disappearing in the void.
So, hey, yo, that 10% are the whispers from the
They are. This is my next beer. Chocolate Pecan Pie Ale.
You know what?
Bro, I am so envious right now.
Dude, those Worcester Tabletalk pies are the shit, and Wormtown Brewery especially has been taking advantage of the opportunity to collab with them, and so
wait, you're talking about some pie. Okay, rewind.
So
pie.
This is
pie is like my favorite shit ever. So
this is Wormtown Brewery.
Yeah.
Brewery here in Worcester, and then that's Tabletalk pies. Tabletalk pies are these little pies, or bigger, you know, whatever you want. And this is a chocolate pecan pie ale. So what they do is it's a collab, because they're two Worcester companies. And so what Wormtown does is, in the brewing process, they take a bunch of chocolate pecan pies,
They just
fucking hum them in there, dude.
Yeah,
They
just throwing
fucking
pie right in the beer.
Just right in there. So, you know, it goes through the full process and all that shit. Eventually you come out with a beer.
I'm not gonna lie. I have spent an inordinate amount of time in Worcester over the last 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never fucking heard of Tabletalk Pie. And also, as soon as this is over, actually not even as soon as, I'm gonna fucking message him right now. I'm gonna yell at Chad because I've stayed in Worcester at Chad's house, and that motherfucker has never once told me or showed me this Tabletalk pies, and now I'm real mad about it because he knows how I feel about pie.
They're like these. You can get these little tiny ones. You know, like little. I call them side pies. They're like these little fucking tiny ones, or you can get like a regular size pie, and they just sell them at like a grocery store.
Hold on, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this live. Why didn't you fucking tell me about Tabletalk pies? You shit. Okay, I sent it. We're good.
Perfect. Let us know when he replies.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know out there, Chad is another dude that I've toured with a bunch. He's been on Fox and Hops. He's been in the chats a lot. Like, Chad's fucking excellent. He did merch for fucking Cryptopsy and a host of other bands.
Mm-hmm.
So he also lives in Worcester, and now he and I have done an inordinate amount of tours together. So now I have to yell at him to wonder why the fuck he never told me about delicious pie when I was sitting around in Worcester with my thumb in my ass.
It's weird because I don't know if I've ever met Chad or I've seen him at local shows or whatever, but
okay.
I don't ever remember meeting him.
So
I'm sure I have.
You might have seen him or his brother because he's a twin.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's real funny because regularly a bunch of us will run up to Keith, his brother, and be like, "Oh shit, Chad, I haven't seen you in forever," and just harass his brother, even though we know it's not him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might have. He worked security at the fucking Palladium for a minute, and so did his brother, and you know. So if you've been to any shows at the Palladium, which is a dumb thing,
then I'm sure I've seen him. You know.
Yeah, I don't know that there's anybody in Worcester that hasn't been to a show at Palladium. I'm pretty sure it's like a requisite, or they kick you out of the city.
I mean, some people like to go to Ralph's. They prefer Ralph's over that or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Ralph's, I will say this, is more local stuff. Smaller stuff.
Bro, they got the small room in the Palladium upstairs.
Yeah, I know, but
you know how many bands got their start at that fucking place?
Oh, so many. You know, Dawkins actually was performed not in the small venue, but in the hallway.
What?
My mother-in-law told me this. My mother-in-law has seen all of these hair metal bands growing up. She grew up around here. And she actually used to go to the Palladium when she was like a teenager, 14 years old and up. And she actually went to go see, I can't remember. She went to go see Judas Priest, if I remember right. And she saw Dawkins perform in the hallway of the Palladium. They didn't even make it onto the stage. They played in the hallway.
That's amazing.
It was insane. I couldn't believe it when she was telling me, but she has the tickets, she has the tickets to prove it. So what had happened was they got there late. And so they skipped over Dawkins. Dawkins was like an opener. And so Dawkins just said, fuck it, we're going to go play in the hallway. And people fucking went and watched them play in the hallway.
That's dope as shit.
Mm-hmm. Damn. That's perfect.
If I remember correctly, I mean, I'll have to ask her again, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. It's pretty freaking sick,
dude. Man, I've got some real dumb stories from the Palladium. I don't know, I can't even count how many times I've been there now, but that fucking venue is just, I've had so much fun in that venue, on various tours and shit. Do you know Scott Lee, the guy that fucking ran shit there for a hot minute? Big dude.
Ooh, I do not.
Okay, big dude with a beard. He's a legend in the fucking mass hardcore scene. He booked shows at the Palladium for fucking ever. And you've definitely seen shows that he booked, obviously. But yeah, I ran into that dude a lot on my first few tours. Just running through the Palladium because that's the place you play. Because I mean, I've played fucking Worcester more times than I've played Boston. So yeah, that dude fucking, there's just some like, he's a funny dude. He's like a class act. And he fucking, there's one of my favorite things about doing the Palladium was afterwards, after the shows and after the business is done, he'd be like, "Hey man, you need anything?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I can get a beer." And one of the times I said that, he's like, "Hey, I gotta go," but I was like, "You need anything?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I fucking have a beer or something." And he's like, "All right," and he just fucking like runs off for a second, and then he comes back, and he had seen me drinking the Shipyard, the Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinheads, yes.
And he just goes and he like looks around. He always wears these big hoodies. He looks around like this, and then he just goes like this and opens his hoodie, and a bunch of Pumpkinhead cans just fall out into my merch bin. He's like, "All right, I gotta go. I'll see you later." And he just fucks off, and I'm like,
"That's awesome."
I said a beer, not like 8. Jesus. I'm packing up and I'm just cracking Pumpkinheads. I'm like, all right, this is dope. Put them in the fridge, and I'm like,
it's a fucking great beer, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yo,
Kennebunkport, Maine.
You ever fuck with Applehead, that other one they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was good.
Delicious.
I like both of those, but I think the better than Pumpkinhead and Applehead is just Head. Head is pretty dope.
Yeah, they did one that was stronger than Pumpkinhead that was called Smashing Pumpkin. And it put me through a loop. It was one of the first heavy beers I've ever tried. And I didn't really know how to feel about it at the time. But now I try it and I'm like, wow, this is delicious.
Yeah.
But it's all about, how you go. But yeah, let's get real quick. We got to get to these games because Philippe has spent many an hour perfecting this.
All right, but you gotta promise to show me these fucking pies when I'm in Worcester next time.
Oh, dude, you show up here and I'll bring you wherever the fuck you want to go.
All right, perfect. Because I already have a date for Worcester in the future that I can't talk about. Now I'm gonna hold you to that shit.
Perfect. You might as well. I'm all in. All right, Philippe, lay it on us.
So the game, let's say it's the Andrew Gerrity's quiz game that I made. So it's like a guess the logo game.
Oh, okay.
So let's go on that game. I got this over there. So as you see,
aborted.
Fuck!
I've seen that fucking logo.
No way.
I've seen that fucking logo 8 billion times. Come on, man.
Is it really?
Yes. I can tell. It's the A and the D and the spikes coming out of the side.
So my game is fucked. but let me explain. So let's say we have now 7 because there's an example.
Yeah, the example has been broken.
Okay, so I have 7 other logo.
Why would you do aborted first?
Because it was the first that Michelle told me. Oh yeah, by the way, Michelle helped me for that. So
oh, if she helped you, then this is gonna be real fun.
Well, yeah, what we did is we asked some people who are close to you that may know some obscure bands or something that were a part of tours that you were a part of.
Oh hell yeah.
We tried to make it as difficult as we possibly could.
but I think the game would tough like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do this.
Let's do it. So, it's a bar.
So far, Gerrity has 1. I have nothing.
No, let's say it's an example.
Fuck that.
Okay, he got one. He got one. So second, I think it's gonna be easy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, 1349. Yeah. Duh.
Fuck!
Oh, fuck.
Fuck my life! This is it.
Yeah.
He just talked about him on the podcast, too.
That's what took me a second. I was like,
I know.
Yeah, I just said that.
I was looking at these fucking numbers, dude.
I know, like, I know, I'm sure Michelle, like, talked about it, and, like, you just talk about it in the podcast, and I'm like, fuck. My game is fucked.
You have so many friends, Andrew, that it's so hard to, like, pinpoint bands you don't know.
Yeah, but, like, the game was bands that Gerrity worked with or was in. So
Dude.
like
it might still be hard for me because like after fucking 10 years, like there's tours that I have done with bands and people mention them and I go, oh yeah, I did do that, and I just fucking forget because it's like it's, I mean, it's a job, so it's like if I mentioned, a fucking day at a job you did, for Evan, and I was like, you remember that one like time where at your job you did this for like, a week or 2 weeks, and you're like, fuck no, I don't remember that because it's like a fucking week.
Exactly.
Same shit, bro. They just space out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hear
But let's go with the third logo.
Guar.
Fuck!
Ah, fuck.
I hate my life!
I fucking toured with them twice. That shit was dope.
You want to know what is the problem? Because on my screen over there, I see a bunch of pixels, but on my screen over there, where I see the logo, I'm like, fuck my life. I should have done more pixels.
Yeah, wait. Okay,
so it was Guar.
Real quick side note, Gerrity, how genuine are those dudes? I've heard there's some fucking sweet, awesome guys.
They're awesome. Those fucking dudes rule. Yeah, I had a blast. Okay, so an example of how genuine they are. I did a whole fucking run with them. On when I was out with Municipal Waste, I was doing fucking merch for the Waste, and it was Municipal Waste, Guar, and Ghoul, and I was real excited because I fucking love Ghoul and I love fucking Guar, and I love the Waste dudes, and so the Waste does a section of the tour, and then they were done, and then fucking Kylesa, I think it was, picked up on the rest of the tour, and they did it, and so like a couple weeks after we had dropped off, they're playing in Orlando, and I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to watch it because I'm fucking I'm not tired of this yet. So, Guar dudes, Ghoul dudes, all them. And then I fucking hit them up, and they're just like, yeah, just bring your fucking tour pass. Nobody's going to question shit. I'm like, oh, yeah, I do still have the same tour pass you guys are doing. So I just walk in the fucking back, and I got pictures where, like, after they're about to go on, I'm outside having a cigarette and shit, and we're bullshitting, and, end up taking a picture with all the dudes. And there's a picture, I'm pretty sure I have it on Facebook, where it's like, fucking them strangling me and with the fucking and like, and it's real dumb, but it's just really funny because it's dudes that I got to fucking hang out with. And then fast forward to the next, we did a Warp Tour, literally day one of Warp Tour. It's pissing rain in Seattle, and I'm just sitting in the cab of the bus like, this sucks. Like, the day was a clusterfuck because it's the first day of a massive tour. It's always kind of a clusterfuck. And I see two people walking up, and then they knock on the fucking door of the cab. And I'm like, who the fuck? Because anybody that needs me has my phone number. They can just fucking text me. Mm-hmm. So I pop the door open, and it's fucking Brad and his wife. Brad's, drummer Guar, and his wife's doing their merch. And he's like, hey, we heard you were fucking on this. We just wanted to come by and say hi. Meanwhile, it is like a torrential downpour. And they like, donned fucking, jackets and shit and walked all the way across the fucking, wherever to come, say what's up. And like,
wow,
every day of that tour, I would park near them, and we would just, before the fucking day started, I would sit there and, bullshit with their bus driver. And when the dudes woke up, we barbecued a bunch. Like, they're the nicest fucking dudes. I cannot say enough about them. They treated us great when we were, playing, when the Waste were on tour with them, and they're fun as fuck.
That's awesome. I've heard only great things about these guys, so it's awesome.
And a chick that I was kind of seeing at the time, they were like, hey, do you want to get eaten by the world maggot while we play? And I was like, I don't know, in my head I thought that was like a surefire win, where it's like, hey man, you want to get in good with a girl? Take her to a fucking Guar show and get her eaten by the world maggot, because clearly I'm a fucking moron and don't know shit about women. But yeah, I was like, yeah, go up there. And she was like petrified, so she's up there just looking out at the crowd like,
oh no.
And they're just like walking her in and throw her through the fucking world maggot underneath Brad's drums. And I'm like, yes, I'm fucking in. Nah, I was not in at all.
Oh. Damn. I mean, that sounds pretty fucking sick, though.
I mean, if I take you to the fucking get eaten by the world maggot, you could put some smooches on me at the end of the night, all right?
Now, I'll put smooches on you regardless.
Yeah. Hit me. Let's see what we
Holy
got.
shit.
Let's do it. Let's see
Warming
what
up.
you. Right now,
Fuck.
Gerrity's kicking my ass 3-0. So
So it's 3 for Gerrity, 0 for Evan, and I think it's gonna be 4, but I don't know. So
it's probably
be-
will be.
I can't see it.
that's the goal of it.
Leprous.
Fuck.
Dude, what?
Fuck.
Dude, you see these logos every goddamn night on tour. Because if I'm doing merch, okay, so they're on the shirts, they're on the tour flyers. If I'm tour managing, I'm sending emails with the fucking logo on it, on day sheets, all that shit.
Wow.
Evan, I'm not doing games anymore. I just
Listen, dude. If we're gonna bring the fire, we have to be able to beat the final boss. Like Gerrity's the final boss.
okay. Okay.
He knows all this shit, which is why I thought it was gonna be cool because he knows literally
Everything.
all these bands
I
by their logos.
Okay, let's do a little fun fact moment for me, because when I was doing it, I was like, oh, let's do like less pixels than ever. And then I was like, will they guess it right? And I was like, oh, okay, just put more pixels and it's gonna be better. So now I just realized, the logo so much that I'm like, why did I do that? Why didn't I stand still like with the less pixels ever? Why?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, because the first time we did this, it was a guess the beer, and we did it with Matt. Right, we did it with Matt, and we did it with Steph Dells, and yeah, they were so pixelated and shit, and it was like a tight race, but this is a slaughter.
Yeah, but the problem is now I did it with Photoshop, and they got this mode called Pixels, Mosaic Pixels, and it's pretty cool. But the problem, like, now I just know that you know all the fucking bands.
No, don't say that. Maybe we stump them.
Yeah, but
maybe.
yeah, maybe. So
Hey, maybe I choke at the end, you know?
yeah, maybe. So it was Leprous. A band that I talked about in an episode. I don't know what episode, but I talked about them like a shout out because last album is just fucking sick. I love that band so much.
They're great.
They're fucking great. Oh, and another fun fact, because I talk about them, but the singer's brother-in-law is Ishan. Yeah, Ishan.
So
fucking great guy. I love that artist.
The first time I ever saw them was in Europe at I believe it was Grass Pop, and it was Ishan with Leprous. So it was when they were still playing as his backing. They were doing like the set as his,
yeah, they were doing the backing band.
Yeah, and it was fucking amazing. And then like years and years later, actually, it's funny because you just had 1349. The way I got hooked up with them was 1349 dudes hit me up and they're like, hey, friends of ours are going to the States. They need somebody. And they were the ones that were like, can we put you in contact? I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking do this. So the reason I worked for Leprous is because of 1349.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's perfect. I love that.
A little bit of Norwegian backstory.
Norway. So let's go with the next one, and it's gonna be easy. I don't know.
Swallow the sun.
Abysmal Dawn.
Fuck.
Damn it!
Dude, Charles was on my first. They were on my first tour.
I know. Like, you want to know something? Another fun fact. When I saw the bands, because like I listened to every Voxenoff that you are in, and you talked about that, and I think there was one Voxenoff that you were in, and the guys of Abysmal Dawn were in too. And like when she said Abysmal Dawn, I was like, fuck, do I do it fucking pixelated or not? Because he's going to guess it like easily.
I was literally talking to Charles last night.
You want to know something?
Oh,
I don't have my glass now, and I just see the logo perfectly.
Yeah, I'm looking at this thing and now he says Abysmal Dawn. I'm like, damn it.
You want to know something? Like, I just look at it with my glasses
That's
on
like
and I
right
don't
on,
see
dude.
the logo. Without my glasses on, I see the logo perfectly. What the fuck? So it was Abysmal Dawn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Which had a great release. Great release.
Yeah.
You guys should check it out.
Yeah,
Oh.
Phytogenesis, because I took some notes over there, like for hints, but I don't need that because Gerrity, you just own it.
It was a great release. But I don't really know. If I'm being honest, I didn't give it its due diligence. I didn't give it its due diligence.
Did you hear the dissection cover they did?
No.
Okay.
I did not.
They do an amazing dissection cover of like my all-time favorite dissection song, Night's Blood. And it's fucking gorgeous. Like I remember hitting Charles up when I found out they were putting it out and I blew his shit up for like a minute about it. And yeah, I've toured with them actually, fun fact, I toured with them and Chad and Matt all at the same time because we did Cannibal Corpse, Cryptopsy, Abysmal Dawn, and Obituary together. So obviously,
which band were you associated with?
I was driving and generally handling the business for Abysmal Dawn on that and doing merch.
That's a fucking sick tour.
And Chad was doing I know he was doing Cryptopsy. I think he might have been doing Obituary too because he works for both of them. But yeah, it was a fucking dope tour. That was like I think one of the first tours Chad and I were on like on together. I can't fucking remember. It's been so long now. I know he did we did fucking King Diamond Exodus together. I've done Insomnium with him. I don't know, I've done a bunch of fucking tours with Chad. But yeah, that was a killer tour. Me, Matt, and Chad hanging out every night was fucking dope. You
know what's really cool about this is that though I am gonna get fucking killed in this game, it's really cool to hear how Gerrity is associated with all of these bands. Because now like he sees a logo and it comes back to him like real fast. It comes back to him and then he's able to tell us something fucking cool. But yeah, I'm gonna get fucking slaughtered.
Yeah, you're going to get slammed because I'm just like watching the next logo that's coming on. And I'm like, Evan, you won't win. You will not be able to win.
It's not about winning. It's about participating.
Yes.
Also, Municipal Waste.
Oh, I knew that.
I almost said that.
I mean, I also have listened to all of these bands before I worked for them, so it's shit I've been looking at for fucking years. Fucking, those.
Municipal Waste is really cool. I remember when, Gerrity actually sent me a music video that he is in.
Oh, yeah.
For Municipal Waste. He's in.
We filmed that when I was
really
on
awesome.
When I was on Warp Tour with them, we filmed that.
It's a pretty fucking sick video.
Yeah, their merch guy Scott. If you look, there's a few parts in that video where you see like a tall dude with fucking dreadlocks. Yeah, that's their merch guy Scott. He's fucking dope as shit too. Yeah, he was in it. I was in it. Like we were in Portland for that, and they're like the next show was in like Albuquerque or something, and we had like 3 days to do the drive because it's Warp Tour, and they're like, hey, so you can fucking either do the drive and leave tonight, or you can stay for today, do this music video with us during the day, and then fucking, head out at night. And I was like, all right, yeah. So we went to it's like this house in Portland, and it was basically like a giant house party going on all day, effectively. Like that's what it felt like. And so we did all the shooting for the fucking video, and then at the end, I'm like, all right, I gotta start fucking driving. So I fucking just start hauling ass to fucking, Albuquerque. And like, I was so fucking exhausted. I made it basically out of Portland and pulled over and fucking went to sleep. And then, woke up like, 4 or 5 hours later and was like, all right, let's get burning. Ended up driving for like another fucking, it was like 16 hours or some dumb shit. But yeah, that video was fun as fuck. Those dudes are rule. Tony fucking is down here again, which is cool as fuck too.
It's down in Florida.
Yeah, he's back down here. So because he grew up down here.
It's funny because Municipal Waste, when I saw like the lineup, I was like, okay, so Landfill from Cannabis Corpse is in that band. So I was like, Cannabis Corpse rules. I just love that band too. I just love it. And yeah, like Municipal Waste, like it's not a band that I've listened too much, but I will listen to more because
check out fucking Fatal Feast, Waste in Space. That shit fucking rules.
I just want to put this little disclaimer out. If you guys are listening on Spotify, I apologize. You're not going to be able to see the things me and Gerrity are seeing. So for this segment, if you want to hop over to our YouTube, by all means, you can actually you can play along. You can see if you actually beat any of us.
They're not.
But I fucking doubt it.
They're not going to beat me.
Yeah.
No one can beat Gerrity because the next one is good.
Dude.
Okay, so let's go with fuck.
So hold on real quick before you switch over. What Gerrity, originally it was American beers and like like regular fucking domestic beers like across America, Europe, Mexico, like that kind of thing. That's what we originally had done this on, and it was for labels. And I was like, man, he's American, I'm American. I'm like, that's gonna be too fucking easy. So I'm like, so I came up with this idea. I'm like, do fucking bands that he fucking toured with. And we're gonna see if he remembers. Now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, oh god, he remembers all of these bands.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you might have been at a disadvantage too for the fucking shitty domestic beers because that's what I drink on every tour.
Yeah.
So I've seen every shitty domestic local fucking beer label that a venue would give you across the US, Canada, and Europe, and parts of Mexico. So there's a good chance they fucking get those.
Yeah, there's a good chance I was gonna get fucking shut out anyway. So let's go.
Oh fuck!
Hit me. Oh, you might have.
What?
Swallow the sun.
Yeah!
God damn it!
Yeah!
You got me.
I got one.
Yeah!
I saw it and I was like, it took me a second, and right when you said it, I realized the fucking center of the logo, and I was like, oh,
fuck yeah!
Wow,
the fucking moth.
Who knew your boy was gonna come in for the win?
They're gonna fucking.
They're gonna hit you hard, huh?
So maybe the last will be harder. I don't know. So let's go with the last.
This is the last one, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be the last one.
It is. This is the last one.
Yeah, it's the last one. So
fuck, dude.
You know what? Because I have like this one, I have another pixelated, and instead of showing you the pixelated,
is it benighted?
No, I will say you like one hint. It's the drummer from Aborted and Decrepit Birth played in the band, in this band.
Abigail Williams.
That's Abigail Williams.
God damn.
Yeah. I thought that's what it was, and then you said that. Yeah, it was yep, that was Badeni. Fucking
yeah, Badeni and
Samus.
Damn.
Samus.
Yeah, I toured with Samus.
But you knew Evan, but he was too fast.
So Gerrity got a 7 out of 8, and I got 1 out of 8.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it wasn't a fucking clean sweep.
Hey, you know what? I made it out alive.
You did.
Yeah, you made it out alive.
I made it out alive.
It's not a clean sweep, so it's good. So yeah.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, but it was awesome.
It was a good time. I like that.
I was not expecting that. That is a fun game.
Yeah, it was. Gerrity, you're one of these guys I think we're gonna end up having back eventually. Probably after tours kind of kick up again, and then that way, because you're a good guy to be able to kind of get like a feel for the scene and kind of feel out how things are going, and because you're so involved, like your hands are in all sorts of different things. So it's really cool to have you on. And like I said, thank you for coming on today, and thank you for taking your time. It's been absolutely awesome.
No, it's been fun as shit, man.
Oh, and just like that, I got a gift for you. I will send it to you, but I got a gift. Hold on a second.
Oh yes, Philippe has a gift.
Ta-da! Here's your logo.
He made you a logo.
That's amazing.
Because like you're talking about cross-punk every time that you are on Voxenops, and I was like, oh, let's do a cross-punk logo for
That's
Gerrity.
amazing.
With Miller Lights in the background.
That's amazing. So you put it like you use it if you want. I will send it to you by messenger or whatever. And yeah, you use it if you want.
Definitely send me that.
Yeah, I will send it to you.
Oh yeah.
That is
So,
beautiful.
yeah.
I fucking love that. You know,
The thing is freaking sweet.
looks like my trash can right now.
Just Miller Lights.
I mean, Miller Lite cans in a Wendy's bag, but yeah.
Oh, dude.
I'm happy you like it. So
That's
I will
fucking
send it
excellent. I love it.
Yes. That's awesome, dude. It's great to it's great to have you. Obviously, I can't wait to meet you in person. Obviously, I think about it real quick. Back in the day when I was going to like aborted shows and I was going to all these tours and stuff, and I'm sure at one point or another I bought merch from you, but I just fucking can't remember.
I mean, I had hair and a beard then, so it's possible.
I mean, yeah, who knows? But it's really cool to have you on. I look forward to having you on again, obviously, when things fucking kick up. I thank you for your insight and I thank you for your knowledge. But yeah, dude, it's been fucking sweet.
Yeah, man. That was a lot of fun. I'll fucking come back anytime y'all want me.
No problem.
Once tours start up again, we'll all fucking... I'll probably be able to see both of you two within a couple days of each other.
I mean, the way that the North American circuit works, probably they're gonna say, yeah, go from Mass straight to Quebec City.
I have literally done the drive where I go from Worcester to fucking I'll go straight from Worcester up to goddamn Montreal, and then the next day is fucking Quebec City.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But for all of you watching, I'm Evan.
And I'm Phil. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next episode. Cheers.
Woo!